This happened to me many years ago, when I was younger and attended the youth groups of the church. Even though time has passed, I never forgot a single detail. In those groups I met a coordinator who was very friendly and charismatic with everyone. I can't say his real name, so let's call him Sergio. He used to entertain us with anecdotes about the missions he went on to distant towns and the people he was helping. Deep down I knew he told them so we would follow his example. One retreat, everything went fine during the day and we were relaxed by nightfall. We had a campfire in the church courtyard, sang, someone played guitar, and it was all very pleasant. When most of my companions had already gone to sleep, those of us still awake pressured Sergio to tell one of his stories. One friend suggested a horror story. Sergio hesitated but finally agreed, saying we wouldn't be too scared, and he changed his expression a little when he accepted. He told us it was something he had never told anyone and asked that we not reveal names or the place. He began. A long time ago Sergio had been part of a mission in charge of taking supplies to a poor mountain town. They were supposed to leave Saturday and arrive Sunday early to make the most of the day, meet the parish priest, and start the usual activities: mass, distributing food, living with the townspeople. For logistical reasons that weren't clear to him then, the date changed and they left the day before, on Friday. They couldn't contact the priest to tell him they would arrive earlier because communication was limited there, so they assumed they would sort it out in person. They didn't think it would be a big problem. After several hours by bus they arrived at the town, which was very quiet. It seemed like an ordinary, beautiful town. They went to the parish house first to look for the priest and explain the change of plans, but he wasn't there. They unloaded the bus and started arranging things for the activities and later gatherings. Some locals told the missionaries the priest often took walks in the mountains and would return soon. The afternoon passed, everything was ready, but there was still no sign of the priest in the parish or the church. A couple of missionaries went around town to look for him while the rest began the activities. They had to make the most of their time even without the priest. Night fell and worry grew. Sergio and 3 other missionaries went to the priest's room after being told where it might be to look for a note, a diary, anything that would say where he was. The room looked perfectly in order. A simple bed, some personal items, folded clothes, and things from the church. But one companion, poking around, crouched and looked under the bed. He found a pentagram drawn in red on the floor. They lifted the bed and saw it themselves. A pentagram under the priest's bed. Fear came, but curiosity was stronger. They opened the priest's wardrobe and found, in that apparently innocent room, a black Bible in Latin with strange illustrations, red and black candles, amulets with unfamiliar symbols, and small figurines of entities that were anything but reassuring. They closed everything and ran to the chapel to tell the others. As they investigated, the discoveries multiplied. In the sacristy, hidden under other garments, they found black ceremonial clothes, some embroidered with satanic figures, and portraits of demonic entities, all immaculate and well kept. In the sanctuary they found the remains of black chickens and other small animals inside a black bag, and oddly, nothing smelled rotten as one would expect. Sergio said the most disturbing thing was what they found under the altar in the presbytery. A black ceremonial cross with the figure of Jesus placed face down. When they moved it to see it better, they froze. The face of the figure had a horrible smile. One of the companions ran out after seeing it, and that was when everyone reacted. They left everything and fled quickly. The missionaries told some parishioners what they had found, hoping for an explanation, but the locals were as surprised and confused as they were. No one there knew about it either. Sergio and the others decided to spend the night at the parish house to wait for the priest, but he never returned. Sergio thinks someone secretly warned the priest that he had been discovered, and that is why he chose never to come back. When they returned to the city with a bad feeling, they reported everything to their superiors. The ecclesiastical authorities simply asked them not to comment on the matter and not to give details about the place, as if to hide what they had found. That night, after hearing the story, I couldn't sleep, not just out of fear, but because many of the details matched the place where we were staying that night. After that, I became distrustful of what might be hidden under altars that appear innocent to everyone. Sometime later, my parents and I moved, so I left the mission group and never saw Sergio or any of those friends again.